What were we talking about? Yes, I remember. Okay, so I saw this clip. I didn't actually get a chance to watch it, but
Yeah, so a lot of people got like laid off today in OTK, and it's causing a lot of issues. So school is canceled until we kind of get things more in order and figure a lot of things out.
So,
yeah, that's why.
damn.
Everything's just kind of scrambled at the moment, I'd imagine. I don't know. I'm not the guy to give details, so I've been playing WoW this whole time.
So when we're talking about people being laid off, by the way, guys, we're not talking about streamers. We're talking about people who actually do the work behind the scenes to make these shows happen. So this is someone who was hired by OTK. Another layoff. Here's someone else. Unfortunately, I was let go at OTK Network today. The content we were able to produce and craft was unlike anything I'd ever done before. I'm eternally grateful. Looking for a new job. If anyone has any leads, please DM me. The cut was for budget reasons, not our work. Today I was informed that my position at OTK Network was terminated today. He said today again, for budget reasons. You can see like these are pretty like this is like the behind the scenes staff. These are producers, these are camera people, audio people, like everything that goes into making a show. Something like Schooled. Like there's tens of people in the crew making that show happen. Because I can promise you the streamers are not the ones doing this. They're not doing the entirety of this show. It's like, it's just mostly because it's too much work to do. To be very clear, you can't have a one-man production crew. I'm not saying these fucking streamers, these lazy streamers, they should do it all themselves. It's not feasible. You try putting on a production show. You try putting on a production as one person. It's not possible. It's quite literally, it's not possible. Cutie. Cutie has a whole team. I think you were being sarcastic though, but Cutie's a good example. She has a whole team of people, people who help with like, first of all, she has multiple assistants that help wrangle everyone else, and then she has. I was joking. Okay, good. But Cutie's a good example. She has like multiple assistants, I think two or three, and those people help wrangle everyone else, and they help her manage the audio team, the video team, the teams that bring people on that help make sure the show keeps on showing. So like, for example, if there's someone that needs to get on stage to make the announcement for a particular award, some staff member is going to go up and be like, hey, it's your turn next. Come behind the scenes, right? Like people like that, or like people who have to do the catering. And then like at least a handful of people making sure the tech is working, right? At least. You need a team working on lights. And then if you're doing like a show that isn't planned by you entirely, you would still need a team that would help brainstorm the things that happen on the show. So if you're running like a show like Schooled, there's no reason not to just hire people to like make the questions and the answers and stuff, right? So like, hey, like what you guys work on this, we'll pay you a fair wage for working on this, whatever. Researchers, etc. Yeah, things that would be interesting, things that'd be fun to watch. So all of this, like you require, I'm a broadcast engineer. The amount of people it takes to put a single person to air is incredibly huge. Yeah. And then, yeah, potentially people with like someone to deal with trying to find advertisers for the show, right? But yeah, you need like someone for all of these things. And that's for like producing a show that's not even being live streamed. When it's being live streamed, a whole new shit show of things you have to worry about. So you can easily have like potentially like 100 people that would help run one show, right? Surely a company with a low production will be profitable and won't slowly destroy OTK Smile. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, when we're talking about OTK cutting employees, we're talking, or laying off employees, we're not talking about like streamers, because the streamers that OTK has are not going to be laid off. They make too much money for the org, right? They bring too many viewers in. We're talking about people who are like more expendable. talent is always the last to go. Yeah, that's why you have writers striking for better wages and to not have their jobs taken over by shitty AI, but fucking Robert Downey Jr. gets paid fucking $500 bajillion to play Iron Man for the fucking 17th time. Talent is not as expendable for a production because you as a viewer, and this is like the sad reality of entertainment, you as a viewer are there to watch the talent. And it doesn't matter who is doing the writing and the camera work and the light and the tech. All that matters is that you get to watch your talent do what you want them to do, right? Unfortunately, that means that people get fired because they're expendable.
This whole time. But
That sucks, man. I hope you're doing okay through this all.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, so a lot of people.
I don't know who's talking in that video. No comment on that. Talent equals WoW streamer. Listen, I can't shade on other content creators for doing WoW. V. English is her second language. I mean, she's probably just trying to like contribute to the conversation. Not everyone is media trained, okay? Maybe personally, I think it's not a good idea to talk about other people getting laid off than tell your millionaire friend. I hope you're okay. But I also understand that you're just trying to be positive, okay? You're just trying to be positive, trying not to. Yeah, I don't judge people for that. I don't. Or she's just joking around, in which case, very funny. Or maybe she said they. I don't know. I also don't care. It's like I just think that it's funny. I think that stuff is really funny. What was I saying? From her, it has to be a troll. It's a very good troll. I mean, I thought it was funny as fuck, so I thought it was pretty funny. What I will say is like, I guess like not everyone could be like a Conan O'Brien. And by that, I mean, I'm trying to find it. Is this a good clip?
After the settlement, he paid people out of his pocket, and I saw him sign checks personally, you know, to keep people paid until the tour was over and the new show started, which I think says a lot about him. He did it during the writer's strike, and he's always been very generous to his staff.
So like this Reuters article is pretty good on it. This is from 2007. Conan O'Brien to pay strike-affected employees. TV show talk show host Conan O'Brien digging into his own pocket to pay the salaries of about 75 production staffers idled by the Hollywood writers' strike. The network has already undertaken to pay the employees of the Late Night Show with Conan O'Brien, as well as The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and Last Call with Carson Daly. Couldn't these budget issues be solved if the streamers paid their employees more? I mean, listen, I'm not going to get into it. But what I will say is this is from the previous strike, or one of the previous strikes. And obviously the article was written in 2007. And he paid his staff because they need money to live. Like other late night show hosts did not do this. And it is I would say a testament to how much you care about your staff to support them through a strike to pay out of your own pocket. The bare minimum. This is not the bare minimum. No. Under capitalism, choosing to be generous is not the bare minimum. I think to like qualify for being like a human being, it's the bare minimum. But yeah, that's really cool. That's very cool that he saw his production crew that helped him put on so many shows, and he saw that they were obviously going to be impacted by the strike and that they were going to struggle to pay for their rent, and that they were going to struggle to pay for their bills, but they needed to strike, obviously, and then he paid out of pocket for it. I mean, it's like very, very obviously cares about his employees. A former president at Nintendo, he took a huge self-imposed pay cut when Nintendo was struggling financially so that the workers could get paid. Conan is also known for knowing all of his staff's name as opposed to Jimmy Fallon just know anyone. Yeah, I've seen that one as well. He kept late night going during the writer's strike and purposely made the show terrible to show his audience that the writers are needed and they should be paid. Yeah. So like, I mean, that's very cool, right? Conan isn't funny. Just say you hate white people, bro. Damn. I thought he's funny. I like the ginger. I like him. I thought he was funny. I used to watch him as a little youngin'. I thought he was funny. One thing that never ceases to amaze me is people online, content creators online, posting stuff online and then being surprised or being upset when it is eventually screen capped. So like I have a lot of personal opinions about things, but I don't think that those personal opinions are necessarily reasonable or appropriate or acceptable, right? So I just choose to not share them, right? So like there might be content creators that I'm trying to think of a random example. There might be content creators that I really dislike on a personal level, but I'm not going to get on stream and talk about that, or I'm not going to post about it anywhere online because like that would just be starting beef, and that would be weird and very cringe. Most importantly, it would be cringe. And I'm always shocked that there are so many streamers that will post in their discords and then be like, I can't, how could this get reposted? What? And maybe I'm just like, I'm in a unique situation where I deal with so many controversial people that I make mad, that I just assume everything I'm doing on the internet is being watched. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I got banned over nothing. I got banned for a month because someone convinced the advertisers that we were dog whistling. Like, it's when you're doing political content and you're making other people mad, you have to get not on like a normal, reasonable level of caution, but like the next level of caution. I mean, fucking Hassan got quoted in a Fox News article saying that he wanted America to get 9/11 too. Except if you actually watch it, it's so fucking obviously sarcasm. It's unbelievably sarcasm. So like you have to, I think when you're doing political content and you are attacking people who are pretty shitty people, who have shitty audiences, you have to be like next level cautious. And if you are never next level cautious, then like you will just be said, do you condemn hummus or whatever, right? Conan's the only funny late night guy. I think he's one of the few. Same thing. I hope the same thing happens when the animation union goes on strike. They're currently in contract renegotiations. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading chat. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. All of that to say, Nick, Nick posted this in his Discord, I think. I think it was his Discord. I think I'm at the point where maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this because I think it's very funny. And I'm like, this really is such a Nick thing to do. Oh my God. Okay, we'll read it. I'll say it once again. Sorry, I'll say it once. I'll say it again. Sorry. I said it once, I'll say it again. We don't get paid by OTK. The money we make goes into paying our staff. So when the Reddit degenerates write letters about Asmon to our sponsors, Asmon doesn't suffer. Asmon doesn't get laid off 5 days before Christmas. But keep it up, surely, spelt surly. Eventually you'll get him. Who cares about anyone else's jobs though, right? Okay, so let me follow. Let me follow. Then he posted this. Whoever screenshot and posted what I said on LSM, you deserve all the pain and suffering you have in your life. You earned it. Oh my God, Nick. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm in the minority here. But I thought that, oh, surly is the new sweaty sweetie. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm not in the I'm not with the new lingo. Sorry, I've never seen it used that way. Sorry, my bad. I just assumed that, and you guys can tell me like ones if you agree with me, twos if you don't. I assumed that the streamers were the ones that were taking money out of their pockets to pay the OTK salary to put on these shows and these productions. Because like, how could OTK be paying them? Because OTK is just like the collection of these people and their, I guess like, I don't know if you can call it their companies like Starforge and the advertiser revenue that comes with that. Right? So like, they bring in these large creators. So like, let me try and explain it a little bit better maybe. Let's simplify things. Let's say, let's make a new content org, right? Let's say we have the POG org, right? And you've got, you know, the usual suspects, the controversial content creator that's edgy. And you've got like maybe like 2 or 3 non-controversial ones. And then you have like at least like 1 female content creator. And then like 1 last mystery person. It can be whoever you want. Okay. Let's just say we have this. These people, like maybe they've got like 10K, 20K, 30K viewers. Sorry, this is getting uglier and uglier by the second. 10K and 10K. Let's say this is the viewership they bring in. The org only has success, or a big reason why the org has success is because these people bring eyeballs into the org. The org is known because of this. If I made an org with like a few other content creators, it wouldn't be very impressive or large and we couldn't put on big shows because we're just a couple of smaller streamers or mid-sized streamers, right? So these people bring fame, attention, ads, and sponsors. These are the people who do it, right? They then can put on like shows like the POG show or something. And the POG show can get like Chevron as an example. But realistically, they'll lose the Chevron deal once they replace any one of these streamers with like some Huo Megalols. because no one is going to come watch it. They want to watch the Pog show with their favorite guests from the Pog org. So like these people are the ones that are bringing the revenue to the company, right? So like let's say Chevron pays out like $100,000 because like these 3 members show up to every show. And then maybe they have like a guest star. Realistically, this money is not like brought because the org necessarily exists. It's brought because these people came together and brought the money in. Like this is their money. This is just like explaining a company with extra steps. So like this is money that they would bring in, and then this money obviously would be spent back into like the production staff. So let's say it's like 100 people that work on the production. This would be paid out to them if that's enough money. And the goal is that them putting on this high production show should increase the relevancy of all of these creators. So like maybe at the end of like a year of putting on a lot of high budget shows, you get like 12K or like 22K viewers or whatever. It is theoretically in the best interest of the creators to dump that money in. And technically this is their money. When they put these shows on, and usually they're hosting them on their channel. If like I hosted a show with like 3 random streamers, I would probably host it on my main channel because that's what would get the most views. So all the revenue would go into my Twitch channel. Even if that's not technically my money, that's money going into my Twitch channel. And then I would have to take money out of that to pay the people. So like this is just like, this is kind of just how content orgs work. So anyways, yeah. But the idea is that you want to put on those shows because it legitimizes the org a little bit and it provides like value that's not necessarily tangible, and the goodwill is worth it. And that's why you you should, or in some instances it makes sense to keep putting money in, right? And it seems like it's sponsors that don't want to, but like I have to say, I think the reason people didn't like seeing this comment is because you should hold the people who say the comments responsible, not necessarily the fans who don't like seeing the comment and are trying to get change enacted. It feels very like finger wagging. Like, hey, don't do that. Can't you see you're hurting these people? It's like, wait, but then if you guys see that there is so much negative stuff happening, shouldn't we take actions to stop that from happening? And then people would stop emailing these sponsors or whatever, writing letters to these sponsors. Also, in general, people don't like to be scolded. Just as a whole, people don't like to be scolded. I have to say though, I do think that like him posting this in the first place is really funny. Very, very funny. Very funny. Whoa. Oh God. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. I just wanted to crack some jokes about it. And realistically, like shows in general, especially on like Twitch, shows in general are very hard to make profitable. And Cutie Cinderella's talked about this a lot, but it's just very difficult to get enough sponsors and wrangle enough people to put together a show. A good show that's effective, that brings in a lot of viewers, that is a fun thing to do, you know, etc. So yeah. Somehow they pushed Rich out with no problem, but they can't push Asmund out. Well, he's a co-founder. You're not going to be able to push out a co-founder very easily. And the other problem is they're running like a cost-benefit analysis, right? Like Asmund has, I think, like the highest viewers in OTK by far. It's not even close, I'm pretty sure. He brings the most people in. He has the largest YouTube channel by a lot. So by kicking him, or like, let's say they all came to an agreement, like Asmund, you have to step away from OTK and we can't be associated with you anymore. Like they would lose a lot of, I don't want to say credibility because that's not the right word, but like potentially a lot of sponsor money just by doing that. So they have to like, again, I'm talking about this in a corporation way, not like in an ethical way. I'm talking about this in a, what is financially the best move for them. And you kind of have to weigh these two things together. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what their books look like, so I can't comment on it. But also corporations will always put forth the ideas that bring in the most money. And it's obvious that Asmund's viewership is enough that it makes the most sense to keep him, even if he loses them sponsors for saying controversial shit. So yeah. Nice back crack.